There's a bunch of them. This is insane when they all go crazy like they were just doing. That was kind of cool. But I think that was only like, I don't know, it's hard to say. I could tell that was quite a few different ones. But man, it was crazy when they just woke me up. They were going nuts. Anyway, back to sleep. Oh, I was sleeping good, and then they woke me up. That was, man, it sounded like they were celebrating or something. That was nuts. YouTube family. Woke up this morning, Holly and I, well, Holly first went to get on Facebook. I think I got on Facebook for a little bit, possibly. I don't know. I think I did. But then Holly, I heard her in there fussing because she couldn't get on Facebook. And I was like, what the hell? So I guess it logged her out, session timed out or something. And so then I tried mine and it did the same thing. So we're logged out of Facebook. Called a few friends that we actually have phone numbers to, and they were having the same problem. So number one lesson today is everybody you love and want to stay in touch with, just should be a lesson that you can't depend on the internet. So you might want to get everybody's address that you love. For one, number one thing is the address, because the phones have been kind of playing, you know, last it was the phone service just shut down for a little bit. Now it's Facebook. So just friendly advice from someone that shouldn't really be giving advice, I guess, but get all your get your loved ones' addresses and phone numbers just in case for backup. Just in case you need to handwrite them letters one day. You know, just got this built. Got a little bit of cleaning up to do around here. I'm still kind of working on it. Gonna be wiring up some batteries and an inverter in the camper. Basically undo a little bit of work and do it differently with 2 more batteries. We have 2 batteries in the camper. We're about to have 4 batteries in the camper, but they're gonna be run separately. 2 to run like the lights and stuff inside the camper, and then 2 separate ones to run the inverter, which will run the TV and the internet box and a couple other things. That way we don't have to run the generator as much. Like literally right now, we just had the generator running just for the TV, which I guess we can cut off, and the coffee maker. These things are running everything right now. All the lights. I don't even know what all these wires are. Another thing that I haven't figured out about this camper is I know the generator is plugged into the camper and the generator is running the camper, and somehow it charges these batteries, and I don't know where that charger is located, what kind of charger it is. I know nothing about it. I added a charger to these, which I'm going to remove now that I am going to disconnect the power inverter from these batteries. All these batteries are going to be running now as the camper itself, lights, etc, whatever else these batteries are running. I just have no idea. I don't know that much about this camper. I do know that I am going to unhook my charger and the inverter from these batteries. Here's the inverter that we have running. From those batteries, I'm disconnecting that. And this charger here as you can see, is running right now, charging those 2 batteries. I'm disconnecting this. One reason I do not like this charger is because anytime this charger senses power being pulled, say you turn on the coffee maker, whatever, if it feels a jolt of power pulling from anything, this thing, it's like a smart charger, it just cuts off. So I'm no longer going to use this charger for this purpose. I am going to remove this shelf here, get this out of the way, because we're removing this charger. Our 2 batteries we have here, brand new spanking batteries, sponsored by Country Girl, and she sponsored a charger, a new charger. I am going to sit these 2 new batteries in here on top of this box. This is the box where the other 2 batteries are. I'm gonna put the 2 new batteries right here on top of this box. So I need to remove this shelf here so I can get to the top to wire this stuff up. Here's our TV. It's kind of just out and the cords are hanging. We just had the cord just kind of messily hanging and plugging it in here. I am going to also run this cord through this cabinet here. That way the wires are not hanging and we can still push this TV into the bedroom and push it here for the living room. So I'm gonna need like a small extension for this to reach through the front of this cabinet.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Down through this cabinet, down to the inverter. I want the inverter here. I could put it in here, but when we shut these doors, then it won't get the air that it needs. So it needs to be an open face cabinet. It's either gonna be plugged in to this inverter, and if we want to, we can unplug it and plug it into here when the generator is running. And check this out. Chris and Holly got some internet. We do have us some Wi-Fi. This has been turning on and off with the generator. We've been running it off the generator. Then when we turn the generator off, we have been unplugging it from here and then running it to here. And now that internet box is going to be running off of this 24/7. So that's another reason I wanted these 2 separate batteries running the inverter, so this inverter will have enough power to run all the time. That way we don't have to disconnect the internet and unplug it and reboot it and go through all that every time we turn the generator off and on. So
yeah, that sucks.
Anyway, I think I explained all that good enough.
You got on me for over-explaining things.
Yeah.
You literally just this morning got on me for being an over-explainer. Just accept it, Chris. We're over-explainers.
Well, sometimes I feel like there's a need to explain to get people on board, and then having to explain why you are how you are. That's a little different. Anyway, I think I explained that good enough. Let's get to business. I gotta rip this shelf out of here and get to doing some wiring. My favorite thing in the world. Not really, but I feel like I'm pretty good at it. So let's do it. All right, so here's this little shelf in here. This is where I ran my wires, kind of through this shelf, up through that shelf, down through here into this box. And I just need this shelf gone. And that don't really seem like it's held in there too good. So I guess I can just kind of, yeah, that is coming out just like that. Oh yeah. Yeah, we need that out like that. That way I can get to the top of my batteries when they're right here and wire them up. But now I have to, I guess, unhook the wires from the batteries down there and pull them up through. Yeah. And here's a bunch of wires. I have no idea what all these are. That's a hose. One thing I'm really been wondering is like where the charger, the built-in like factory charger that was built into the camper, where would I find that? And what kind is it? Like, I don't know how much power it's pushing, because that's one thing I was wondering when I was hooking this charger up. Like, am I going to blow the camper up or catch it on fire by adding another charger to those batteries when there's already power going to them? But I hooked it up and took a chance, and it seems fine. So that's another reason I want to remove this charger, because it's probably not that safe. But when we were running everything off of it, I just needed more power charging them to keep up with the load that we were pulling off of them. So now we're not going to have that problem. And let's really hope that these batteries still work. I'm pretty sure they do. But actually, when these were delivered, they were laying on their side. I don't know for how long, but they were laying on their sides.
Probably
like they're
the whole time they were shipping them to us.
Like they're not supposed to be. And yeah, were they like that the whole ride, or only when they delivered them on the porch?
Murphy's Law.
I mean, jeez. So I'm hoping these are good, because these are very expensive batteries. Country Girl really hooked it up. So thank God for her. Well, this might not actually be so bad. I was actually thinking I was going to be doing a lot of rewiring. But actually, I mean, I should just be able to unhook these from this battery, and just run it to the other battery. One thing I am going to have to wire up, though, is see how I have this wire going from this battery to this battery. We're basically connecting these two batteries as one bank. When you have a hot going from the hot to this hot, so you're connecting this battery to this battery, and then your negative down to your negative. So you're connecting like a power bank, basically. So we're gonna have to do that. So we are gonna have to create a wiring harness deal to connect those two batteries together. But these two, we should just be able to unhook these and just transfer these two connections to the other one. So I think that's the charger right there. And we got that. So we're gonna connect that back. I wonder if I should, yeah, we're unhooking the charger for now. We'll see how these batteries do without the charger until we figure things out. So the only thing I'm really seeing that's gonna be a pain in the butt is I permanently wired my lights into this. So hopefully I have enough length to pull this up through there, connect it to the other battery, and still leave my lights connected. So let's see if we can pull this up through there. Pull that one up through first. Yeah, so I gotta play with this. Oh yeah, good. Oh yeah, that's through. So we got that one through. Now we gotta see, pull this up through there and get it to the other batteries. So we're definitely gonna have wires coming up through these holes still. Yeah. So hopefully we have enough length here. I think we do. I have to play with that. All right, and that is why I had to take that shelf out, because it would have been so close that I would not have been able to wire up anything. But we have our negative here, which is going to hook in on this side over here, the negative. And then we have our positive here that's going to come over this way and hook to the positive on this side. So we got our positive there, negative over here. So now I gotta wire these two batteries together. So I need two wires, a hot going from hot to hot, and a negative from negative to negative. And then we gotta bust out our battery charger and get this where we can wire it up. I'm also gonna hardwire the battery charger into these instead of using the clips, just like I did this one. I cut the clips off of this, put these terminals on here, these connectors, and wired it to the terminals on the batteries. So that's what we're gonna do in the new one. Brand spanking new. Let's see, what is this thing? This is Power Op. Oh, it's actually Tower Top. I knew that. And that's what it is. And from experience so far, this has been a great battery charger. So this is our setup over here. I didn't hardwire this one in here because we use it, you know, for four-wheelers and stuff that we need to charge batteries, other batteries. So I just kind of left them like this. As you can see, these two batteries, I actually bought the connectors to connect the two batteries together. But I'm actually going to make my own for the camper to connect those two batteries. And same charger. Has been a great little Tower Top. It's pretty dirty from a lot of dust and use and stuff. And here's our negative and hot here going to the inverter. Here's the inverter here, which is running the refrigerator. That's pretty much all this is running, is the refrigerator, and it runs 24/7. So that's pretty much the same setup I'm doing in the camper to run our internet and the TV pretty much 24/7, unless we for some reason unplug it from the inverter and plug it in the wall when the generator's running. I don't see why we would need to do that, because those two batteries should be able to run the TV and internet pretty much all day long without charging the batteries. So with them fully charged, we should have no problem at all whatsoever just running it at night while we're chilling, you know, or the evening. So now I need a couple pieces of wire, which I think is up above my refrigerator over here. Here's my refrigerator over here, where I have the same setup. I have a little bit better of a charger over here, old Stanley, and two truck batteries over here. Basically the same setup with an inverter that's kind of really old and dead. It hasn't been running. I haven't even ran this refrigerator yet because it's been so cold. I haven't really needed it. Let me see what we got here. We got us a box of supplies here. Got us some wires and such in here. All right, this may hurt a few feelings here. But I want my charger, I guess right here. Here's the plug for it right here, where we can just plug our charger up to the wall right there. When the generator's running, the charger will come on. So we're gonna run this wire down through these shelves to the batteries. So we're gonna cut that about like, we want it to go through that hole, have plenty of room to wire this, kind of like that. So we're gonna cut it about right there. We're just gonna cut this right.
This hurts my feelings.
Right here.
Oh God, that hurts my
Right.
freaking feelings.
So now we can run this down through my hole, through there, and wire it to the batteries. Dang, right? I knew it hurt your feelings. We're gonna use these two bigger connectors so we can wire these two wires in with those in the same connection, creating a wiring harness. And then we're gonna use these smaller ones on this end to just hold these single wires together to connect to the batteries. So, and then we'll add our coatings, protective coatings on there, And then we got the bigger ones for the double side over here. So these connectors, they kind of have the smaller holes. These are the screws that came with the battery. So that's a pretty close fit there, which is another reason that I want to make my own wiring harness, because the other connectors are way bigger than this. So it would be, the other holes are big enough for this screw to almost go through the hole. So I wanted smaller holes where these screws will fit nice and snug. And I'll probably also use a washer, and then you got your lock nuts that it came with. So I'll add a washer, and then these lock nuts and screws should hold it down pretty good. So we're just gonna move these out of the way. Keep those in my pocket. Now let's do some wiring here. We're gonna start with our big ones. Oh, and to tell the positive from the negative, you have writing on the positive, and the negative part is bare. So just in case you were wondering about that too. So okay, yeah, start wiring this up. We are going to do, I guess, the positive first. We want about that much there. And so we're doing positive first. We want the same amount of that. Goodness. There's a lot of wire there. Pull these apart some, so we got something to play with there. I might actually want this smaller one a little longer. Yeah. We want quite a bit longer on the smaller wire so we can, to get a good connection, you kind of want to weave this in this other stuff. Maybe separate them a little. Separate this. I don't know. I know there's probably better ways of doing this, but I'm just gonna kind of maybe wrap this in here. Wrap that. I'm gonna take this one and wrap through here. Just to make sure it's kind of wrapped in there good and won't slip apart. We want this over that. I like that. I'm going to do a little chisel action here. Get that ready. We want to hold that snug in there. There we go. Do some on the front. Instead of having one of them wire connector things, I just use a chisel. Pretty much does about the same thing, maybe even better. But They do have those really nice big crimpers for big wire like this. I've just never invested in one. All right, that's the hot side. Slip that over. There you go. You can pretty much use a lighter or a torch. Torch might work a little faster. Oh yeah. Nice and tight. Another thing I just noticed is the torch keeps it red. I noticed when you use a lighter, it turned the red black. But there we go. Let that cool off and that'll be nice and tight. Do the same thing on this one. Yeah, that one about twice as long. Split it in half. And wrap them. Another thing you want is you want them to kind of be sort of the same. One thing I've noticed by doing this is there's been a couple times to where when I put them together and after I got them together, one's twisted like this and one's like that, when you kind of want them facing sort of the same flatness. Then when you do this side, you kind of want to do the same thing and have them laying flat so they're not all twisted and crazy. All right, here we go. Nice tight connection there. Fun she is. That cool off. Got two nice connections there. Let that cool off a minute and then we'll put these back connectors on these and then we'll be able to wire these into the batteries. So like we said, we definitely want to try to keep these somewhat flat with each other. It's one thing I've learned. It's aggravated me a few times. That. So when this is curved, this wire, I want this one flat and that one flat, just to kind of keep them the same. Because when you have this connected to two terminals, even if you have it bent or whatnot, they're still flat. Then you don't have to twist it to get it connected. So that's one thing I've learned to pay attention to, is that. There we go, very good connection. So now we'll put that back flat again. And then now we want this one flat also. Flat, put that flat, just like that. There we go. Flip it over, do that back side. Just to give it that extra right in the middle there, them other two creases. That would be very hard to pull out there. Very nice. All right. Cool. There we go. We got our charger and our wiring harness. Now we just go connect them to the batteries. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Plug the charger in. You're good. Dang, there we go. It's looking pretty clean. Got a charger right there. Open air cabinet. Looks like it's working. 12.9. So I guess we need to crank up the generator and give these things a good charge. 50%. Oh. Charger just turned on. Oh, now it's showing 14, 15. Charging now. Well, anyway, I don't have an extension cord right now, so we're just gonna leave the TV pretty much plugged in how we had it with the wire hanging. I just I would like to have the wires going through the cabinet, so it's just neater looking. It'll hang there. I drilled my holes for the wires to do so. And we're also, we're gonna put a shelf over here and have our internet box here over the door instead of in our cabinet plugged in here. And then when the generator's off, we'll just reach it across and plug it in here. But I think we're gonna permanently add our box up here on a shelf up in the corner and then have it run through the cabinet, plugged in there permanently, and should solve some problems. Let's just save us like a ton of gas, huh, baby?
Yeah.
Now I gotta clean Hollie's table off. I took all the stuff out the cabinet and put it on Hollie's table over here.
People knew it would happen.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought this was the dog pen.
Yay.
What is this?
It's my room.
Your room?
Yeah.
You turned the dog pen into your room.
Mhm.
With your tent, your bunkhouse, got another bunk bed, and your kitchen.
Yep. Are you happy?
I mean, are you happy?
Yes.
Nice.
Because someone said, yourself. Go dog yourself. Well, one time, there was one last night that a dude made some kind of doghouse. And I was like, oh, I should build that with cardboard boxes. But then you were building this with fence and stuff. So I thought, oh, maybe I can do that now. And then it's here. I might have built it better than that dude.
Getting ripped off. President Biden is calling on companies to put a stop to shrinkflation. And Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio also chimed in. People in my state of Ohio are fed up. They should all get the cookie they pay for. Yeah.
Reminds me of They Live.
What is this? It used to be much bigger.
They Live.
People feel it. You know, if you wanna know it, go to the grocery store. Thanks for watching Scripps News Live. I'm Chan Seals in Washington. Super Tuesday. We are just getting started. Stick with us. For some of your local programming is next.
Welcome to Pocket Champs, an action-packed multiplayer racing game where you compete against your friends to see who will be the ultimate champion.